Hi, I'm Nancy Reynolds, Stampin' with Nutsy. I can be found on Facebook at Stampin' with Nutsy or on my blog, which is stampinwithnutsy.blogspot.com. And today I'm coming to you with a project made from this most beautiful suite in our January to June 2021 catalog. It's the Hydrangea Hill Suite Collection. It's page 18 of the mini catalog, and we've got many samples that they show you. And here's page 19, which shows you the acetate paper and the designer series paper. We are going to be using this one right here today. Unfortunately, the pastel pearls and the ribbon were on back order when I got mine, so we're going to substitute a little bit. But here is a close-up of the Hydrangea Hill Suite. Hydrangea Haven, these are the stamp sets. This is the outline image and all of the words. And then there's also a little coloring in images. So it's really quite a large stamp set. And then here are the dies. I don't know if you can see this die, but it's got a lot of texture to it. It's got the little flower petals kind of embossed in, and it's really pretty. So that's the set I'm using. Here is the designer series paper. As I said, we're going to use this set, and we're actually going to use both sides of this paper. But isn't it? It's all gorgeous. And look at the gorgeous colors it comes in. Some of my very favorite. Anyway, I got very excited when I saw this and should have ordered it immediately so I could have had everything. But I didn't, and as they come back in stock, I will get my pastel pearls and my sheer ribbon in the gorgeous grape. What we're going to do is we're going to make today a pocket card. I've seen several of these. Karen Titus on Back Porch Stampers has made several and even had a challenge. I made two. One I used the little butterfly gems on, and the other one I used the rhinestones. And I like the rhinestones because they pop a little bit. As you will find out as this video goes on, I really do like bling. So this is my favorite. I did a little adjustment to some measurements, which I will tell you about. And at the end of the video, I will show you what I did. I tend to love my paper and chop it. I've learned that from Kylie Bertucci. And so most of my paper is in cardfront sizes. And you do need a longer piece for this particular card, for the little one that goes inside. But I have a workaround for that, and I will show it to you at the end. So I'm going to set these aside, show you what we're using. I have the stamp set, Hydrangea Haven, and I chose the two stamps. I appreciate all the little things you do. And then a little flower stamp, which is very cute. I am using Gorgeous Grape ink today. And I wanted a larger sentiment. I like to stamp on my designer series paper. It just makes it fun. And I used the little thank you from Hydrangea Hill. And I wanted something to make more of a statement. So I was looking through my stamps and pulled out my So Inviting set. And it has the most beautiful thank you in it. And so I have mounted that, and that is what I'm going to stamp on my corner. This is a really easy card. And so let's look at the paper. We'll do a little stamping, and then we will, oh, excuse me. I had something I need off camera. Because it's a photopolymer set, the little stamps you don't have a problem with probably stamping just right on a hard surface, but they don't have any cush to them. Like our red rubber stamps have a foam cushiness. These don't. So I use my piercing mat, which is available for sale. It's not in the catalog. I think Stampin' Up! Didn't know how much we loved it and used it. And when they were going to discontinue it, there was such an outcry of please don'ts that they did not discontinue it. So we're going to start with our stamping. I have a piece, well, first we're going to start with what I'm using. I have a piece of cardstock in Gorgeous Grape, 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. For those who do metric, it's a 1/4 of a sheet of cardstock. I didn't do the metric measurements. I apologize for that. This is, you would do a little bit smaller, so 2 centimeters that you usually use in metric. In Imperial, you usually go down a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 of an inch, depending on how big of a border you want. So I have got the acetate from the set. It's 5 1/4 by 4 inches. For my card that sits in the little pocket, I played around with sizes. And I honestly thought this one was a little small. So I tried 9 by 3 1/2. So it's 9 inches long, 3 1/2 inches wide, and I scored it at 4 1/2. And I thought that, here, let me show you. Pull that pocket out, put this in. I just felt that was a better size. Plus, then you'll have more to write. So here we are. That was adjusted a little bit. You're going to need a piece of white cardstock. I did 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 for the inside of the little card. And then you need a corner. The corner is really fun because while you're doing all of this, cut 2 of everything because you may as well make 2 cards. Once you get your piece of paper cut at 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, you're going to put it in your trimmer, in the channel, whatever kind of trimmer you use, wherever the blade is going to cut. I use the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, so I use the channel. Put 1 corner in the channel at the top and 1 at the bottom. I like to start in the middle and score out and then, cut out and then down so that I don't crinkle my corners. And then you have your corner edge for your card. So let's start with the stamping because there's not a lot of stamping. Gorgeous Grape. I guess I could take my little piece of paper off. I'm going to do that great big thank you on my corner. And so I'm going to go tap, 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 tap. Look at it and make sure that it's well covered. If your stamp is brand new and you haven't used it, you're going to want to clean off your stamp a little bit, maybe rub it on the chamois so that you get any finish off of it. Then I lined it up. Oh, let's see, I'm going to stand up here. It's quite a large stamp, but it does fit. Then you just kind of press it down and hold it for a couple of seconds so that the ink can transfer and absorb in. There we are. The thank you has been stamped. I'm going to take my white paper for the inside and stamp my greeting. Well, actually, I'm going to start with the flowers. I like the look of a background stamp, almost like a watercolor you would have on paper, watermark. So I take my stamp, ink it up, then I stamped it off twice because Gorgeous Grape is gorgeous, but it's also a very strong color. And then I stamped it down, and I have a little background image. And I use my full strength for my words. Oh, it is hard with the camera in the way to line this up, but let's see. Well, if I don't get it right, you know paper's magic. It has 2 sides. Oh, that looks pretty good. So our stamping is done. It's a really easy card. I'm going to close this up. A little bit later, I'll get that golden retriever hair off of it. No, not golden retriever, yellow lab. And I'm going to take my large sheet of paper and I'm going to put together my little card first. So again, it's 9 by 3 1/2 inches, 3 1/2 by 9, scored and folded at 4 1/2 inches. So you've got your card. I put, and I am not even going to try and tie this on camera because I am not the best bow tire in the world, and doing it on camera is going to be even harder. So you just get yourself a nice piece, leave yourself enough to tie a knot and then a bow. And what you wind up with is this. Oh, and I didn't even tie a bow. I did another knot. because you don't want it to be really bulky. Just open her up. Grab your Tombow glue or your favorite adhesive. Actually, I think I'm going to use my seal today. We'll use Tombow in a minute because, so a little seal. Remember that the new seals, there's a little trick to keep them rolling properly. So when you roll it, lift it back on itself and then lift it up, because it's where the adhesive breaks is where it's going to start. And if you want it to start right away and you don't want to have to do the move the roller with your finger to advance the tape, it's a good trick to know. I sometimes forget it, and I'm usually sorry when I do that, because then I have to roll the roller, which is not that big a deal. It's just a little messy. I line this up at the bottom so that there's about the same border top and sides, and then I know the top will be each side and the bottom, and then I know it's going to be fine. There's our little card. Wasn't that easy? Okay, now for the main part of our stamping or our card. This is the sheet, the quarter sheet of cardstock in Gorgeous Grape. I used the acetate paper from the Haven Hill suite, and I cut it at 5 1/4 by 4 so it fits right in. I really don't want the seal to show. Looks like I have a little edge that's not quite straight. And there, just a little trim. So I turn it over. The other side is silver, which is very pretty. And where there are not a lot of holes, I try to put a little seal, because I really don't like things to show. So the seal holds really well. This will attach it quite nicely on the Gorgeous Grape side. Line it up, press it down. There's your card base, all done. And then you're going to take your thank you. Oh, I'll use this one. And what I do is I've taken my Tombow ink, which comes in the green ink, I think it's what everybody calls. I put it in this little container. I can get a finer line with it, and that's what I want. So here's how this is going to go on my card. So I am going to want, it's a right angle. On the two sides of the right angle on the back, I'm going to put a fine line of glue. And normally I would use my silicone sheet, which is right here. Glue doesn't stick to the silicone. It cleans up really well. So I can put this on in the corner, line up the sides, line up the bottom, press it down, and we have the pocket card ready to go. I'm going to let this dry a few minutes before I put the card in, but I'm going to lay the card on top because I just think it is very important to have a little bling. So what you can do, the Wink of Stella pen is adorable. It's like glitter in a bottle. It's a glue glitter pen is what it is. So it is glitter in a bottle. And I think I'm going to just draw over my flowers so that I've got some glitter, a little brightness. I just think it makes it so much prettier. But that's me. If you're not a glitter person, then don't do that stuff. I'm going to put on some rhinestones. I have a new package here, but for some unknown reason, I have large rhinestones from that pack just sitting around doing nothing, which we can't have that. There will be no lollygagging at my house. So I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool on the putty end, and I'm going to grab one and put it in. I can see where the card's going to lie in the pocket. So I'm just going to put, I decided not to put them on the pocket of rhinestone because I don't want it to stand up. I'm going to want to mail these and I don't want added bulk. And my pocket card is done. Here's the card. Isn't that cute? And it slips right into the pocket. It holds beautifully. And you have Happy Mail with a little sparkle ready to send. I hope you've enjoyed the video and enjoy making this card. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I am Stampin' with Nutsy, either on blogspot.com or on Facebook.